Wait, oh, here we go. Hold on, let me... There we go. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Oh,
Share.
there's Echo. There we go. Oh, there's Echo.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, hold on. I can fix that. That'll be better, so that way I'm not on the Twitch stream all of a sudden.
Yeah, I got you. I got you recording on my Twitch, and I'm gonna post a video later, so you can refer to it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to stream yours. Okay. So if I do this, you can see this.
Yep, I can. Hold on. Let me. Ooh, that is not good quality. How do I fix that?
When you look at my screen, it's not good quality.
Yeah, the screen's not really drawing. That might just be... Yeah, it's all pixely.
You said you lag a lot sometimes, right? And the bottom left in the connection, is it green or is it like red?
It's green. It's 3 bars. 59 ms. 40 ms.
Should be okay. If I play like this, right? Are you able to see what's going on?
It's pixeling again.
If I just let it
They're
go
gonna
for
have
a
a
little
lot more
bit,
shields going right.
just let me know if it stabilizes. Like, can you tell what's going on, or can you just not see it all?
I can tell what's going on, but I don't see the health bars. The character's kind of fuzzy. I can't read the ammo until you pause the player.
Huh. Hang on.
It might be on my end though. Hold on, because do you have Discord Nitro?
I don't.
Yeah, usually they give you the option of running it at like a specific resolution, like the source resolution. Hold on, am I able to? User settings, streamer mode, voice and video.
Maybe if I'm not... Let me try this. What if I am not streaming here, and you just go onto my Twitch, and just turn the volume off?
Okay,
So you talk to me here, but like turn my Twitch volume off?
got it.
Just, yeah, click on my thing. And tell me if that's better.
Yeah, okay. I turned off the sound. Yeah, I can see the stream, and it's perfect, perfectly crisp.
Okay, might just be Discord. It's being weird.
Probably that tends to happen with Discord. Like the video never looks right unless it's like you're doing art or something.
Okay. Anyway, so you can see this, right? Let's talk a little bit about how you take this attack. I'm not really worried about things like cooldown management and strategy and stuff, because I think at this elo you really just need to get some kind of idea of what your goal is for every fight. Because what happens a lot in bronze is people basically just press their buttons because they're there, and they use their cooldowns because they're there, and they don't really think about what their cooldowns are for, what they're actually trying to accomplish. So it's just like
Right.
you know, have you ever played Super Smash Brothers when people just mash their buttons and hope something happens?
Yes. Yeah, that's... I know how to work something like Soul Calibur. It's just Smash Bros is kind of difficult for me to pick up just because of the amount of space and like kind of the way that it's set instead of having it 2 people. Especially when it comes to like a 4-player match. It's a pain in the ass to figure out.
Anyway, it's a figure of speech, but like, yeah, sometimes people just like smash the buttons, right?
Right.
You don't
Sorry,
want to
I
do that
was...
here. No problem. So I'm just gonna play this a little bit. I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you know, you can answer them, and we can figure out what's going on. All right. So
Right.
first play up here. This is fine. This is fine. Spamming. This is okay. Okay. What is your objective for making that play?
Well, I think my thoughts were trying to distract them for the moment so that way I could make it to the point and try to pull them back.
Okay. So if you do this and there's a guy here and 5 guys over here. What is your
Oh, I
what do you
see.
think is going to happen to you if you do this?
I'm gonna get destroyed.
Like you're probably going to get rolled, yeah? Um
Right.
Something I want you to start thinking about, and this is kind of why I told you to watch some streams, because watching some streams so that you can actually just focus on processing what you're seeing rather than trying to think about what you're doing and also processing what you're seeing at the same time. It kind of trains your brain to, first of all, get used to all the visual clutter that's in this game, and also just you can see people do this, and then these results happen, right? You can start kind of getting this idea of, okay, if I do some action, okay, then what is the consequence that's likely to follow with some percent probability,
Right.
right? Um, because I can tell you, if you just hard commit into this choke and you got, one guy here and 5 people over here, with like 90% probability, you're gonna die, right?
Right.
Because just your entire team's past the choke, and you're the like there's no way these people aren't going to shoot you, right? You have 600 health. It goes
Right.
pretty quick when you're being shot at. So the point of this is, first of all, you need to have some kind of intent, which you told me what the intent was, which is like okay. But then you need to have some also, not just what your intention is, but you have to have some idea of what you expect the outcome is going to be when you make a play. Okay, so this is like you have an intent, but
Right.
you don't really think about what the consequence is. Like, hey, I want to get some ticks and distract people from point. You can see my marker, right?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Um, and but like you don't really think about okay, what's gonna happen to me, and what happens to you is pretty much what we said was gonna happen, right? Like you're gonna need to tick a
I
little
get
bit,
last beat.
and look, 5 people are running at you, or 4 people, and you like instantly die. And what did this accomplish?
Right.
Right, you fed 750 health. Your team is still back here. Um, it's not really worth it. This is kind of like the same issue as when I deal with some Reinhardts, who are low Reinhardts, who think the proper way to
Right.
open a fight is to charge in, and like, okay, I'm gonna if I'm here, here's a crappy Reinhardt drawing, and the enemy is
Right.
here. They're gonna run at me, and my team's gonna have space, right? The problem is you're gonna die. Like you're thinking like you're thinking like you're playing a dive tank when you're not really playing. When you're Ryan, you're not a dive tank. When you're a diva, you are a dive tank. Uh, but that's another story for another time. Okay, it's the idea is okay, but you have to realize that the expected outcome of this is that you feed.
Right.
So now, just like a little thought experiment. What if you were playing hamster?
Then I. Well, you could probably do something like that, but afterwards, after you pull them in, you're probably going to want to get out as quickly as possible
Right, but what's the difference between playing a hamster and playing diva?
because you have more of an ability to create space
Well,
compared to Diva, who,
why is that? Like, what's different about this guy?
well, because he has his ability to push everything away from him. Diva's able to bump, but compared to Hammond, who's able to grapple and then push everything around him
It's a
in
little.
that basic, very
It's simpler than that. It's if diva, you commit your boosters in, you got like 5 seconds where you can't do anything, right? And your boosters don't go very far.
right.
If you're
He has more movement.
yeah, if you roll in, you do this exact same play. They turn and look at you, right? They all turn. Like at this moment, even as a diva, you should GTFO because your boosters are up, right? Just get out this way. But as a hamster, even better. You just roll away, right? But like here,
Right.
you try to 1v5 and you die. Even at this point, like you might be able to live if you run, but you don't even make an attempt to get out. So if you try to touch the point, play towards like see where you're standing right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you basically sat exactly here, waited for the enemy to come to run at you, and then as soon as they
And
started
then
shooting at you,
turned around
and then
and
just yeah, and they just ran. This would have been an okay play. It's not the best play because honestly, you know, you didn't take a lot of damage coming in, but like this part, right? You already took 200 damage basically. You easily could have died here. So this is not a good play because just doing this and running past the entire enemy team could have gotten you killed. So that's like problem number one. But the fact that you do make it here, you touch the point, you should go this way because the overarching theme is you need to have some idea of what your expectation is of the result, and you should understand that when you see this, four people, like four guys running at you, you are expected to die. You're not even on full health,
Right.
right?
Find a get out procedure rather than
Just
if
play to live, you know, because when you do
right.
this, like if you just imagine if you started here, they had to run all the way here to get to you, and then you ran out, and you came out this side. So you know where the mega health pack is right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little mega in this room. And you came out. You got the mega health pack. You came out this side. That would have been fine because then you actually distracted like four people. You made space because they ran
And
at
then
you,
everybody else.
and then you live. The important thing is you live, right? But the problem here is that you just kind of died for free, and you didn't really. You had it like a good intent. So I'm gonna show this to you right now, right? You had a good intention, and you just kind of didn't think about whether that was like how likely that was to succeed.
Right.
Can you see my game client?
Yes, I can see the game client.
Okay, so forget about this part because this is bad, right? If you're here, you got like these guys shooting at you, these guys shooting at you, you're probably gonna die. So let's just imagine you somehow magically got here without taking damage, okay? You went here and you ran this way. So if now you have enemies coming here or here, where are you gonna go? Right, you're dead. You're basically dead because your boosters only get you about yay far. You could maybe go here, but now you're stuck here. Right, like you just need to play to live a little bit. So but the difference between being here and then having to cross this door and get shot at, run over here, just to get shot at some more, versus coming straight here, touch the point, beep 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 beep. Oh shit, people are here. I'm out. I'm here. I got a health pack, EP, and now I'm back out here. My team's probably running through the choke, and I'm able to shoot people from high ground. Right, it's all kind of like making it up on the fly, and
learning to be able to improvise.
I mean that is a very important part of the game, and that's more important higher up. The higher up you go, I think like, right now I'm just trying to get you a general sense of why certain things are bad and what you should think about a little bit more as you play. You know, don't just do things
Right.
just because, right? You're like, okay, my objective is to touch point, so therefore I will go touch point. But you're not a ball, you're not a tracer, you're not somebody who can do this deep behind enemy lines and get out alive.
Right.
Right? Like I hope I'm not being too general, but it's like these things are just like
No, this makes sense.
like maybe you don't think about it in the moment, and you look back on this and you're like, why did I do that? You know? So what could you have done better in this case? Okay. What if
I could have.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me another.
I could have moved. Okay,
I'm-
up top, where I was at in the first moment. Not there, but yeah, up here. I could have moved on the right side. I could have gone to the high ground on the right side.
Which high ground on the right side? All the way over there? You
No,
can't.
no, no, in the building. In the building.
Here?
No, other little bit more to the right.
Here?
Yeah, and then I could have.
I mean, you could have been here. What's this going to accomplish?
True. More things for them to kind of get confused and shoot at, because if you have further distance away from your teammates, it'll create, like, unless they're able to point it down. Usually, from what I've learned, bronze usually doesn't have too much of communication when it comes to locking down on on somebody and going for them.
Right, so what you're talking about, in general, is actually a very important concept, which I usually don't get to till later, but since you're talking about it, I might as well elaborate real quick. What you're talking about is an off angle, okay? So what you're talking about is if you're, say you have, okay, you don't have a main tank right now, but let's just say you have like a Reinhardt, okay? You have a Reinhardt here, okay, and you have some healers. I mean, this is bronze. Let's say like your DPS is here, DPS is here, okay? This is your team, and the enemy, here's a choke,
Yeah.
and the enemy's all like here. Okay?
Okay.
The concept of an off angle. Oh shit! I don't have room now. You know what, I need to clear this. screw it. I have my pen here. Just
Oh, that's a tiny pen.
just ignore what you see. You can see this, right?
There is no man behind the curtain. Ignore him.
Ooh.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Okay, so let's just say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who are these people? I don't care. Okay. And
Okay.
you
Just
have
so sorry, your
1.
thing's a little bit laggy. It's good quality, but it's like it's lagging back. So I'm gonna need like you to just draw it and then kind of
Sure.
give me a second because I'm seeing these visuals like a second or two after you talk about them.
Okay. So off angles. Okay, I just drew a bunch of dots. So your team is shooting this way. This is what happens in bronze. Okay, everybody groups up, and everybody shoots basically in a straight line. And this is gonna happen
Right.
probably till plat or diamond. Okay. Because people think grouping up and shooting in straight lines at each other and just basically smashing faces is a good thing. If you were somehow able to come over here and shoot this way, then what you just said, right, is that the enemy now is getting shot at from multiple directions
Right.
while you are all shooting in one direction. So basically, they have to pick who to shoot, and you guys don't have to worry about blocking more than one angle because you know exactly where the enemy is, right?
Right.
So you should try to abuse stuff like this whenever you can, because this is going to divert resources away from your team,
Right.
and it's going to allow you to put potentially more damage in while taking less damage. And the key is to take.
Okay. Quick question. When it comes to off angles, where is the best like spot to be when it comes to here in Hanamura?
Well, let's brainstorm. That's kind of why. So that's just kind of like off angle number one, like 101. All right, it's good. It splits attention
Right.
and resources. It gets your team shot less, and it gets their team shot more. Easy, right?
Right.
Okay. So
That's one of the reasons why I also went up to that one spot originally. Yeah, right there, and then though if I was able to push like right here, if there was a way to get into there, but I would have to have got. What would have been the best option to get us pushed in and have them pushed back? Because
well, I want you
I'm
to.
trying to think.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you the answer here, okay? Because the
No, I
this
know.
game's about thinking. So if the enemy is all over there, you can see this, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at all the possible locations. Okay, we already talked about this location, but like, this is kind of an off angle, but like your whole team is probably right there. So if I'm the enemy,
Yeah.
I can either shoot this guy or that guy, but it's all pretty much the same direction, right? It's not really like it's kind of an off
Right.
angle, but it's not really an off angle. The same thing if you were here. If you were there, it's like, how much am I actually moving to shoot these guys? Like, I can see everybody
Right.
in front of me. So what are some other spots I can sit at?
Back where I was, as well as over on the bridge. No, yeah, where?
Here?
No. Okay, where the bridge is, yeah, right here, and then slightly to the right side. Just walk a little to the right. No, I'm meaning on it. Yeah, and then yeah, a little bit to the right, and then just right there in this angle where it's at. Usually, I'm seeing like a Ryan or an Arissa kind of. Yeah, exactly, right here.
Okay, but two issues. Your guns are not very damaging at range. They're basically shotguns.
True.
And again, if your team is sitting here, oh hey, the enemy's here, and oh look, there's a guy over there. So what are you really accomplishing? Right? Did you see how like you want to try to maximize
Damage, yeah.
well, no, just you maximize
And-
the kit that your character has, right? And if you have this kind of a gun, sitting here is not going to get you a whole lot, right? Like, yeah,
Right,
missiles
and even
maybe.
the missile. Yeah, that's only a.
Where else? Where else haven't we talked about yet?
What about up on top on the bridge, like on top of the gate?
Top of the gate.
Top of the gate,
Okay.
yeah.
You might want to practice this jump a few times because if you miss and you fall off, you're dead, right?
No, I know.
But
That's a
assuming
hard fuck.
that you can hit this every time, hey, look at this. free shots. Boom. And these guys have to choose between looking here or looking here. And you see how that you can't, like if the Ryan has to shield this for some reason, the Ryan's not shielding this, okay? So it's like if they're playing a Reinhardt or a Risa or a Sigma, no matter where they, like, they have to choose who to take damage from, here or here. Okay, and this is how you get more damage.
Right.
Because if you're all here, and they have like a Risa Sig, it's very easy to block all your damage. You're just spamming shields. But if you come up, oh, see, yeah. If I'm you there, I'm dead. So practice this, okay? If I'm here,
oh yeah,
I spam some.
You gotta kind of do. Yeah, do you have to like melee it to get it to stop, or is it like a
melee cancels your boosters, so it's like a reasonable...
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know there's what I have to be able to cancel it is to tap the button again, so it stops it. But
yeah, just melee's a good habit because if you hit somebody, like hit. Oh, what the hell? That was weird. I thought it did. Did they patch that out?
What?
That was weird. I meleeed and didn't cancel. Maybe I lagged. Anyway, like you see why this is much better, right? The reason it's an off angle is because if they have like a shield, they have to pick who to shield, and if they have two shields, they have to commit one shield there, one shield here, and they can't just basically brain dead. So like they can't. If they have a Risa Sig, what they do is they drop in a Risa shield here, they shoot here, when the Risa shield breaks, they just Sig shield, and basically they can just cycle shield indefinitely because they're under no pressure to use the Sig shield. If you're up here, oh shit.
Right.
See, not a D.Va player. So you should practice this because doing this will get you killed, right?
Right.
So
practice makes perfect.
Yep. And bad.
Usually I'm fairly good at timing movement. It's just usually like using my my toolkit correctly is kind of the problem. Like I'm able to like judge distance as well,
yeah,
but at the same time,
don't worry about that so much. It's okay. Like it doesn't really matter. What like I'm not trying to attack or anything. Like that kind of stuff doesn't really matter, right? It's just like you're trying to get better.
No, yeah.
So you're trying to get better. So like what you're bad at and what you're good at, it kind of doesn't really matter. As long as you're trying to get better. But like you can you understand why this is good now, right? If they have two shields now, they have to use both shields at the same time. Now the trick is another reason why this is a good spot is if you take too much damage, like you take 200 damage, you can just drop off.
You can just
right, get healed. Same thing here. This is an easier place to stick. This is also like this is probably better than that because it's easier to land on, and you know this is a much harder angle, right? You have to do this. So you can fly here, shoot, take your missiles out, and when they turn to look at you and like you start taking damage, just hide. Right?
Bug out.
Get healed. Do it again. Oh shit. Not a D.Va player. See. But get healed. Do it again. Right? And eventually, what will probably happen is you are spending more of their resources because you're doing more damage, and requiring them to heal more, requiring them to burn more shields, requiring them to burn more cooldowns to stay alive. And because you're taking more resources from them than you are yourself giving, because like you're here, this costs you a booster and maybe a couple heals just to drop off, right? But you're not dying, you're not actually getting any kind of pressure from it.
Right.
Eventually, your team will probably win the front because you're disproportionately putting damage into their team while costing your team very little resources, right? If you sit here and you take like 500 damage and you pop out and your team has to heal you, then when your healers have to heal a D.Va from like 100 HP, that's a long time your other teammates are not getting heals.
Right. So then just use the med kit.
I mean, yeah, that's well, okay, that's one way to interpret it, but the other interpretation is there are ways in which you can throw the game for your team that you might not be aware of. Right? Like you don't have to die to like really screw your team over. If you take 500 damage, so, okay, and you come down and your Ana has to nade you, like we used half her mag on you, and then your Brig also, like you have a Brig and she also has to pack you. You just took like all of your cooldowns for your teammate, and in the meantime, your Reinhardt or whatever your other tank is taking a shit ton of damage, your DPS is critical, and you know somebody dies because they're too busy trying to heal you. Right?
Right.
So like when
you need to make Sure.
It's not just about kills and deaths. It's about winning the resource trade and costing the enemy, taking more from the enemy in terms of resources with like cooldowns, health, lives, etc., like stuff like that, ults, than you yourself are committing. Okay, so if you commit 500 health for like, and you trade 500 health for basically nothing because you're just like spamming here a little bit, take a shit ton of damage, and you drop down, you get healed, and then you also spend for your 500 health like all your healing cooldowns, and then those cooldowns are not like if they're spent on you, then they're not available to spend on someone else, right? So if
Right.
your team is spending resources on you, you need to make sure that you're justifying that expense. And if you take like a lot of diva players, who are new, they have a big problem of just taking too much damage, and they don't understand that kind of thing. Even if they don't die for it, and they often do die, but even if they don't die for it, just spending all of your team's healing and denying that healing effectively for somebody else is really bad if you don't get some kind of trade out of that.
Right.
So it's just a different way to think about the game, right? It's like I need to get value, aka take an off angle, find a way to shoot people, and force them to turn their attention, turn their shields, or just take damage because they're probably not gonna. If they look at me, then they have to take damage from 5 people up front. So maybe they just deal with the front guys, and you get to shoot for free for like 3 or 4 seconds.
Right, and
Right.
not to mention with the tanks, usually the healers are like right next to them, so you aim for those first, then you go.
Exactly. Like you're looking for ways to get more value, right? And this, where you're just offering yourself up on a plate, doesn't get a whole lot of value,
Right.
right?
Just
Because
ringing the dinner bell.
yeah, because and with that in mind, let's look at let's look at this again, right? What did you what did you spend and what did you get for it? Right? Think about the game more in terms of like
I
economy.
spent a boost and a life, so that wasn't a good trade
Yeah,
off.
you spent a booster. I don't know. Wait, yeah. Well, this was fine. But you spent a booster, and well, the booster doesn't even matter because you didn't use the booster to get out, right? Like
Right.
you could have gotten out, which is another problem. But let's just look at what you spent. You spent effectively like none of this matters because you died, right? You went in deep.
Right.
You spent 750 HP, and by the way, spending this much HP it feeds the enemy ults, right? You're giving the enemy ults
Right.
faster. So you spent 750 HP in a life, and what did you get for it? Like basically nothing, right?
Jack crap.
So if this was a market, like the free market, you just got ripped off, right? You spent some money because this is money, this is money, this is money, this is money. Oh, this ult is big money. Okay.
Wait, are you drawing on something?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'll wait for you.
I'm not seeing any drawing.
Uh, wait for it. How about now? Oh, well,
Nope.
you're
Hold on.
you're still seeing my game capture. Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, there we go. That's better.
All right. Okay. So you spent like health is money, ults are big money, cooldowns are also money. Ammo is like small pennies, but it's some amount of money. Right? Like if you're an Ana, ammo is big money because wasting ammo is bad. If you miss a shot, that's healing that you're not getting, and that's extra reloading time you have to get. But for most other characters, ammo is like, especially like Diva has infinite ammo, so that's you have infinite cash and ammo. Okay, but
Right.
you have like this stuff is all money, and you spent your life and got nothing, so you just got ripped off in that trade, right? If this was a business, if this was like
Right.
you went to a store, you spent all your health, you didn't get shit for it. Um, and the way that you're gonna get better at this game a lot quicker is you realize, like even while you're playing the game, but if you can't do it while you're playing, you can go back and look at this later. You're streaming these, you can be like, wow, did I get a good trade? Did I spend my money and get something good out of it, right? Or did I get something crappy? And
Right.
if the answer is you got something crappy for it, then you got to ask yourself why. And then you can come ask me. Then you have questions. You'd be like, hey, was this good? Was this bad? Why was it good or bad? Um, but when you start thinking about the game more in terms of what are you, like the economy, what are you getting for a
Mhm.
trade for spending your money? Things start to make a bit more sense.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, let's keep on going for a little bit, and because I spent like half an hour talking about 30 seconds of gameplay, which I am liable to do if you talk to anybody
Well,
else in
I
here.
mean,
Okay, so
this. I'm getting a lot from this, so it's important.
like this whole sequence of plays, right? What are you trying to accomplish here? Like you see, this is a good illustration of why off angling is good, right? Because here, what's going on? They have a diva matrix. They have a
Right.
sigma hands, which I don't know how to draw that crap, and they have a shield, and they just all commit him to this choke right here. And they don't have to look in any other direction. You got like no damage in, right? Because they're just blocking your
Right.
damage and everybody else's. Right, so you're probably like, wow, I went through that door and I fed. That was crappy. So let me just try to shoot main. Right, like something in your brain probably did say, hey, that was kind of I spent a bunch of money and I got nothing for it. So I'm gonna try to just go here this time. But now you know, right?
And that yeah.
Go off angle because now you're spending less money because you're not dying, you're not taking as much damage, but you're just spending your missiles, you're spending your infinite ammo, but you're also not doing anything. So this is just like 0 for 0. This is a break even trade, and the reason why this is actually bad for you is the status quo benefits the defenders. Right? If you sat here for the next 4 minutes and did nothing, like literally nothing, these guys are super happy. Right?
Right.
Because doing nothing, the status quo, means you don't capture the point, means you don't move forward, which means the defenders are fine with that. So as the attacker, you can't be okay with just even trades, right? You have to find a way to gain some kind of advantage.
Right.
So this is basically just an illustration of, hey, off angles are good and this is bad. Okay, so see how you almost died?
Hold on, I have it. It's still being. Hold on. Let me try and turn on the latency. There we go. Okay. Buffering. Okay, it's working now.
And a good way to illustrate why this is bad, look at your ult charge. You're at like 37% now. $39. See, like this whole time you're doing 0 damage, right? Because you can tell. You're at 37 right now, and you're shooting and you're doing all this stuff, and you're getting nothing for it because you're getting DM'd, Sigma hands, right? And you're shooting into a shield. Like you're basically doing nothing right now, and then you end up spending, what is this? Almost 600 health, right? And then what do you get for this?
I get death.
Well, yeah, I mean you don't get anything, right?
Yeah.
Oh, another currency that I haven't talked about. This. That's money.
Just the point and getting ticks off and
specifically time. People say time is money. Wait, hold on.
Time is money. That is very important.
Time is money. Yeah, but in this game, time is literally money. Hold on. Why is this being annoying? Oh, here we go, pen. Alright, this is money, because if you're the attacker, like, this is money that basically, it's like negative money, right? Well, actually, yeah, for you, when you're the attacker, this is money. Right, the more of this you have, the better. When you're a defender, the less of this you have, the better, right? So the fact that you
the more the clock ticks down, the more money the defenders take from you.
Yes.
That's I kind of get the analogy.
Yeah. So you spent a crap ton. You spent like 15 seconds and 600 health, and got nothing. Right? You got ripped off again. So you see why this is bad now. Given what we just talked about, what could you have done better here?
I could have went at an off angle, and I could have. It's buffering again. Hold on.
I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm
I could
paused.
have. No, I know. I could have went at an off angle like we were suggesting earlier. I could have waited until the Sigma was down, or when the Diva used um, her drain. I could have timed it a little bit better.
Off angle is probably just your number one play, especially if you're gonna play off tank. You know, off tank, off angle. You're not a Reinhardt, right? So you don't need to be here.
Right.
You know, if you're an off tank, you should constantly be looking to poke some other off angle and force some people to look at you. Uh, Pretty much most characters, like
Right.
most DPS that like are not like Reaper, or even Reaper. Like Reaper goes on flanks a lot. Pretty much most DPS and the off tank should be looking for off angles. Like the only person who needs to really be on the front line is the main tank. So if you're playing Reinhardt, you're playing Orisa, yeah, you're here, right? You're trying to buy space for your team, but
Right.
you can help out this guy a lot by taking resources away from the front line, right? If everybody's shooting here, if everybody's looking here, then this guy has a very hard time getting anything done, right? He's taking 6 people's aggro, and if you just match six
Right.
people's aggro with 6 people's aggro, you're probably not going to get anywhere because it's a choke and it's like an even 6v6 just spamming into a choke, and the problem with that is that you're on attack, so you're spending money and doing nothing, right? Which is a net loss for you. Like even if nobody
Right.
dies, even if nothing happens, even if you just sit there, you're spending time. So, how do you win more games? You figure out a way to get more done by spend less of this. Okay, and if you were on that off angle, then what did we just talk about? Let's see. My transition. Right, if you're on this off angle, can you see my game?
Mm-hmm.
And you see how like the diva was DMing here, they were handsing here, they were shooting here, like nothing got through, right? But if they were doing that and you were here, then sure they blocked these 5 guys, but you're doing damage for free here, right? And at the end of that fight, you don't have like 45% ult charge, you have like 70, and then you get more
Right.
ults, you get more diva bombs, you get more opportunities to make these big carry plays, and life is good because then you're getting like you're accumulating these small advantages over time that kind of snowball. Right, if you're getting like a diva ult every minute and a half, and the other guy's getting a diva ult every 3 minutes, right, you're getting twice as many diva bombs out. That's twice as many chances to blow up the entire team. Yeah?
Right.
It's like these small things, like there's not a big, here's the GM secret to get better at the game. It's like you do these small things.
No, yeah,
right?
it's these little bite-sized chunks. I completely get that. That
Yeah.
tends to be most of everything. Like, you got to take everything into small chunks
Yeah, like
and kind of break it down in bits.
do you watch sports?
A little bit of MMA, and I used to watch basketball because I used to play it.
So not a football person?
Well, my family. My brothers are both the football people.
Okay, well, I mean, just a quick analogy, right? Like, the best teams in football, they're usually not the best teams because they make the big flashy plays and they make the big long passes and they make like the giant crazy
Right.
tackles, right?
No, I mean, the Seahawks did do that for a while and was able to get to the Super Bowl, but not all. It's not all. Most of them, no. They're not made. They're playing it safe.
Yeah, right now if you're Patrick Mahomes, then yes, but like that's the exception to the long-standing rule that most teams get really good by doing the very small things very well and very consistently, right? Like a really good team will get like 5 yards of carry on a running play, which looks super boring, and a really crappy team will get like not even 5, maybe like 3.5, right? If you get at least over 3 yards of carry, it means you can just run the ball indefinitely and get 10 yards every 3 downs. Right, so like a really good team gets like 3.5 yards of carry on average, just running the ball up the middle, and a shitty team gets like 2. Right, and it's like, well, that's not a whole lot. You're just running the ball. You're getting like an extra yard, but it's the difference between just being able to run the ball whenever you want. You get a first down just running the ball basically at will, and getting stuffed, and not moving, and turning over on downs and shit like that. Like you do the small things right. Over time, it adds up. Because over the course of, in football, a 3.5-hour game, and here, like a 20, 30-minute game, the small things add up towards the end, right? Like at the end of the game, you have the other guy's got, 4 diva bombs, you got 8. The other guy's died like 10 times, you've died 5. The other guy's done 5,000 damage. You've done 8,000 damage, and it'll add up. Yeah. So, any questions?
Not that I can think of.
Let's just look at it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping you're getting something out of this where, like here, you're spending more time, right? You're seeing the stream, right?
Yes, I am.
Right, like you almost die here. So then here, like, what's the purpose of this? Because you're super low health. Um,
I
and
didn't consider the health packs. I was in the moment and I was in the stress of it, and I.
yeah, you could have gotten healed. You could have just sat here. Excuse me, like tied to the wall. It's hard to shoot. Corners are really good because if the enemy is here,
They'd have to peek out, yeah.
and you're here, they have to expose themselves, right? They have to expose themselves to shoot you. But if if your entire team is here, then they can shoot back, they can heal you, and the enemy has to cut themselves off from their backline to hit you, right? So being like really tight to a corner is really really good, especially for tanks because your body is huge. If you're like a Genji, you can just AD strafe all day, right? But
right.
if you're a tank, it's pretty hard to miss you. So you want to play cover as much as you can, and the corners are really good for that kind of stuff. So here you have no cover, you kind of just boost up, and you're not really considering like, hey, what did I get for this play, right? Did I buy some time? As in like, did I delay my death? Did I get myself some healing, right? Did I get some ult charge? What are you getting for this? Because I mean, the answer here is I can't really see you getting much for this, right? And then you drop down,
Right.
and then you're taking more damage, you're spending more health, and now you just die, right? You spent your life there again, and what did you get?
Nothing.
So what could you have done there that would have gotten you more, or at
I
least
could have
would have cost
taken
you?
the health pack and.
Yeah, what would have either gotten you more or cost you less, right?
Well, first I would probably need to reset and get myself back to full health, and then go in and try to take it again from the off angle.
Yeah, that's one option. Now, if you don't want to get the health pack,
Though
okay.
with the healers, kind of as we could see in that one moment. Hold on, wait for it. Kind of, yeah. When I was pulling out. Wait, keep going.
No, so I'm saying if you just sit here, your Mercy's here, your Ana's like somewhere over here. Okay, they can heal you if you just sit here. You don't need to pull this far because you're tied to a corner and you're hard to shoot.
Right. So I could have just waited there instead of going straight for the health pack. I think the signal is going for the health pack too.
Yeah, like the goal here, right now, right, is like, just don't die. Okay, how do I not die? I can get the health pack, but that's far away, and distance costs time, and distance costs time and cooldowns, right? You have to either walk there or you have to boost, which is bad. So if you just walk here and sit there, you can get healed, right? It's costing you
right.
It's costing you less time, less cooldowns, plus you're giving your healers ult charge, which is good, right?
Right.
Like here, you probably couldn't have done more because like you can't really get more for this play because your objective isn't to get value, it's just to not lose, right? It's not die. So it's about what's costing you less. And I think here you just like you pull back for some reason. You don't get healed because like see where you're honest, you can't see you. Like both your healers are.
Yeah, that's the thing. I saw that and I should have went over to go either to take. Oh wait, because the Sigma took the heal, so I should have stayed with and like hid over in that back section.
But
and I should have still did. I should have still did that when I was in mini mode. Like because I was right near that, I could have at least waited until somebody peeked out and then started shooting, rather than risking it and being out in the front with like the Sigma shield just shielding my face and not my body, because they were getting body shots on me.
So the heals are here, and you're here. Do you see how they can heal you, but the enemy has a hard time shooting you?
Right. No, I completely get that. I already got the point for that
Yeah.
already.
So, and the problem with this is instead of being here, you're in the open. The entire enemy team can shoot you, right? So you just take too much damage.
Right.
You spend your life, and you don't get anything for it. You don't even get ult charge, because your healers don't get to heal you. They don't get to farm their ults, right? So this is just kind of objectively a bad trait.
Right. I shouldn't have pulled back like that. I should have waited there. But though even then, the Moira would have still win and gotten me after. But at that point, I wouldn't have recognized that, so I would be still the best option.
What do you mean pull back? Like you mean like this way, or you mean like here?
No. I'm meaning like when I pulled back to the wall, that the Moira would have activated their ult and tried to push back in, even when I would get healed.
Yeah, but if you're so here, again, think traits, right? If you're sitting where you're sitting,
right,
the entire enemy team can shoot you through their shield without having to move.
Right.
Okay.
So it wasn't. Yeah, I get your point.
So you're spending a lot of health, and you're costing the enemy like basically nothing because they can just sit there. Versus if you sat here, sure they could shoot you, but to do that they would have to walk out and look at you this way, which means you got some people in here who can shoot them. You got like your Sigma here who can shoot them, right? Like it costs them a little bit more time. They have to move and expose their flank, and now they're getting off angled because your team is like this.
Right.
So it's like, it might not seem like a lot, but being here, you make it very easy for the enemy to shoot you, right? You're spending all of this health, and you're costing them like nothing because they can just sit there, make a coffee, and then just shoot you from choke. And this is really bad. But if you were sitting here, just getting healed from this from your right, then for the enemy to shoot you, they have to walk past the choke. And when the enemy walk past the choke, there's a very good chance that one of them dies, just like randomly, because they have to expose themselves,
right?
And they're getting shot from multiple angles, and they just like die randomly, and then it's free win. Right? Like make the enemy's life hard. When you make the enemy's life hard, good things eventually happen for you. But here you're making their lives very easy because you're just taking damage to your face, right? And they can all see you from the choke.
Right.
They don't have to take any risks to shoot you, and it's just a bad trait. Yeah. Any questions?
Nah, I think I got all I needed from this move.
Yep. Okay. So your Genji carries, blah blah blah. But like, you didn't really do a whole lot that fight, right? Like you got 64% ult charge after your first point. So this is like the Genji just randomly pops blade and kills everybody. Okay, you didn't really help him out that much. Okay, that was a monk ass, but shit happens.
Okay, this one was. I find that hilarious, but at the same time, that was. I wasn't expecting to get that drop. I expected to be able to sit for a second, be able to climb it back up, and be able to go back into it. But
so, and I probably gotta go in about 10-15 minutes because I'm getting tired. But let's talk.
Understandable. We can talk about it later tomorrow if you need your sleep.
Yeah,
I do.
Let's talk about this point a little bit just to make sure that you're gonna remember some of this. Okay? You see my game now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your Sigma's like here, and there's a red shield right here, okay?
Right.
So if I'm you, if I'm the Sandman, and I'm sitting here, and I see two Sigmas facing off here, where am I gonna get more value? Like where can I go to get the most value?
Down to the bottom right corner, there's the doorway over there.
This?
Bottom right. Bottom right.
You mean this?
Yes. Isn't there a way in through... Oh, no, there isn't.
Nope.
I was thinking, yeah, is there any way to get through there from the back way?
From the back way?
From this way, where I'm at right now.
No, you have to walk to that door. So.
Ah, shit. Alright. I was trying to think if that was a way that connected, then I would have taken that. But...
Well, try again. Where else could you go?
What about
two Sigmas right there.
So is it the only the two Sigmas that are there, and then everybody else is kind of waiting at point?
Well, you can't see, right? You don't exactly know where the enemy team
Right.
is, but you see your Sigma shield here, the enemy Sigma shield here. So the two Sigmas are basically like Reinhardt's facing each other off. So this
We could go and take that top entryway. The on the right side, there's a platform over there. Kind of, you get the high ground there. You could shoot down at the Sigma from its back way, so they would have to pull back. But that could cause some people to chase, and usually that's a highly protected area.
which door? This door or that door?
Take that door and then go in. Just go in further.
Wait, left door or right door?
So it's the left door, the right door.
Right door. Here?
Yes, the right door. The right door.
Yep, I'm in the right door.
Yeah, and then just go
Now what?
up the stairs.
Okay, and now you're here?
Okay, and we would be shooting at the left side, down at the Sigma from its back, because we would have an angle from there. On the left side, down at, around there, as well as kind of the corner area. But if they had a diva as well, they might pull and come after me.
Okay,
But at that point, I would have had a escape route.
so you're here, right? So if you take this right door, what's this gonna cost you? Booster?
That's going to cost me a boost, yeah.
So if you get here, and you walk here, and there's like two or three guys here sitting up here, now what do? You have no boosters.
Right.
Right, this is...
And I would have to use my matrix in order to back out and regroup.
Yeah. So what is, if I'm here, if I'm at the stairs, okay? Right door, what does this move cost you? Just tell me all the cash it's costing you.
The booster, and if somebody goes after me, a matrix.
Let's just say, like, don't worry about where the enemy is, just the act of getting here. Booster, and then...
A booster.
What's the other kind of currency?
A booster and time.
Yeah, time. Okay, it's longer, right? Distance, costs, cooldowns, and time. Yeah. You could not booster, and that would take you forever to get there, so that's probably not good. So booster, walk. And
We could also. Is there any way to take the left door to go in? No, that would still take time.
Well, let's think about it for a second. All right, if you go right door, get the booster, you have to walk, and it's not as safe. It's risky, right? There's like that notion of cost, which is a cost of a cooldown and time, and then there's the notion that there's risk involved, where if you actually get caught in this door, you can't get out. You already spent your boosters.
Right.
You're probably gonna feed. So, what'd you ask? What did you ask? Left door?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe left door, but now that I think about it, it is.
What does this cost you?
That'll cost me a booster, and this will also cost me a booster as well.
Yeah, but how much more? By how much time?
A lot less.
Yeah, like this is like one. You should. This is like a. I'm trying to talk very general because these things can apply to most heroes. But like for Diva specifically, you should have an idea of how far your boosters can take you, right? From here, you can booster all the way. Boom, right here. Hey, shoot. If shit hits the fan, so if you can booster here, and this is what I'd call a very aggressive play because with one booster. Right, if you're here with one booster, you can get into position to shoot the Sigma and whatever is behind them.
And then get out.
You can do this. Well, no, you can't because you can get here and you can immediately shoot at this guy. You can shoot at these people. You can shoot at this guy. I don't know where they are, right? But you can contest this area. But you're wrong in that you can't immediately get out. Right? This is more aggressive because you're deep. Right? If you were to get out here, it now costs you DM and some time to get out.
Right.
Whereas the other option is if you don't know where the enemy is, you instead booster here, figure it out, and then walk in. Right, and that costs you like a couple extra seconds of time on the way in, but it's safer because if you get here, there's like freaking, I don't know, like a Junkrat and McCree sitting here. You're like, oh shit, you just drop, right? You don't. It doesn't cost you any extra health. Right? It's just like ways to think about like to take the more greedy play, which is I want to get more value faster, at the risk of I don't know what's here. I could just feed because now I have to run out. You know, that could cost me time if I want to leave. Versus I'm a little safer and it costs me a bit of time to get in position, but at least this way I don't die. I would probably, well, which one would you take?
Probably the more aggressive route to the left, just because there's less risk involved, and specifically, you'd be able to. Worst comes to worst, you could back out if needed.
Well, yeah. So we've established that this door is better, right? Because it costs you less than that door, and it's less risk. Okay, so now that we're taking this door, do you take it like this, the aggressive in, or do you take the hit the lip and then walk?
Hit the lip is probably the best option, just because then you can like peek and then back up.
Yeah, because I would agree, right? Because if you hit the lip, you're reducing your risk drastically because now you're able to make a decision based on what you see, rather than you going blind. You have no idea what's here. You might end up too deep. There might be like 4 guys here, and you just die, right? And you can't drop.
Just Mexican standoff.
Yeah, like, cause they have like sometimes people will just have like a Hanzo sitting here and probably an Ash, and maybe like a Brig or something. You got like 3 guys sitting here and a Sigma right there. You're dead, right? Like you come in this deep.
Oh yeah.
So it's better to have more information and then make a decision. Like always, make sure you have information. Information is also value, right? Information is like something that you can buy with your currency, right? So here you spend your booster, and here you're buying some information, right? At the cost of some time. You see that?
Right.
Whereas if you're just going blindly, you save some time, but you don't get the value information. And the problem with not having information is you might die because you don't know who is sitting here, right, or sitting there, or sitting here, right? Like it's all economy, right? So yeah, I do like this better in general because, this hitting the lip, because now you're getting information at the cost of a little bit of time, but the risk of dying, dying is costs you a lot, right? It costs you even more time. So it's like it's like going to the stock market, making these risk assessments, and making your trades. This could have a payout, but for saving what 1, 2, 2.5, maybe 1.5, 2 seconds, and risking dying, probably not worth it, right? Whereas here, you spend a little bit extra time, okay, but then like you don't risk dying, or you risk less dying because you can decide, okay, I can walk in, versus no, I can't walk. Okay, and if you can't walk, you just drop off, wait 3 seconds, try this door. Hey, whoa. Off angle. Yay, I'm happy. Right? Run out. Make sense?
Right.
Like you see, like there's just so many different ways where instead of just running through here, you can take 1, 2, 3 other doors, right? There's other ways, and even just for this one door, you can do this, or you can booster all the way here. Like there's so many ways to play the game, and that's kind of where the fun for the game is, right? You kind of want to have this problem-solving mentality of what's the best way I can get the best trade for money spent, for resources spent. Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. You want to call it a day?
Yeah, just because I'm needing sleep, and I'm gonna go inner tubing tomorrow with my family, so...
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be at like 10, so I gotta wake up at 8.
Okay, I'm gonna export this and post it in the channel for like VODs and stuff down below, so you can refer back to this later.
Perfect.
And other people can look at it.
You.
And if you got any more questions, just come back. I encourage you to watch some Owl Player or just high level streamer gameplay on Twitch.
Right.
So you can kind of see this in action a little bit.
Just inhale all of that info, basically.
Yeah, get it in your brain what good play looks like, so you have something to model after, and then when you play, try to start thinking about more in these terms of what are you trading for. right? Because the biggest problem a lot of bronze players have, and even like silvers and golds and plats, they just push their buttons because they can, right? But
Right.
in order to be a good player or a much better player, you need to have intent, and you need to make sure that you're actually achieving the intent. Because like we went over this today, where you had intent for a couple of these plays. You had intent, but then you didn't really consider what the expected outcome was, right? You're just like, okay, well, this is my intention, this is what I want to happen, but in reality, is that going to happen? I don't know. You probably didn't think about it too much, right? And then you died sometimes.
Right. Had
So
an idea, but didn't really have any way to follow through with it.
yeah, or it's just like you had an idea, but you didn't have the experience or the knowledge necessary to know whether that idea was going to work, right? And I showed you, I was like, well, most 9 times out of 10 you die in that situation because 5 people are going to look at you and you're going to die, right? So like,
Right.
have intent and then have expectations. Where if something worked or it didn't work, you can realize, hey, you know, I expected that to work like probably 80% of the time, so that's fine. Or if you try something and you think it's going to be good and it doesn't work, it's like, okay, that's fine, because 9 times out of 10 it works, and this one time it just didn't, right?
Right.
And vice versa, you make like a crappy play and it works out and you win the fight, but you got to have the presence of mind to be like, well, that was a shitty play. I just got away with murder there, because it does happen.
Right.
You could do something really stupid and dumb, and then because it's a weird game with different kinds of people, it works for you and you win. But you got to realize, like, hey, that was a dumb play. Like 9 times out of 10, I die for that. I get punished instead of getting value, right? So,
Right.
that's kind of like that conversation.
Expect the unexpected, but don't play like a dumbass.
Yeah, more or less. That's like that conversation I had with Minet about like 180 shattering and flank shattering. Like, I do it sometimes, but I don't do it all the time, because like most of the time it's dumb, right? Like, it doesn't always work. It only works in like very specific circumstances. You can pull it out once every now and again when you think it's gonna work. But if you do it all the time, then it's like not. You're probably gonna get screwed like 8 times out of 10. So,
Right.
expectations. All right, well, let's call it a day. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll post this for your reference for later. Okay.
Sounds good.
Play some
You take
games,
care.
and yeah, play some games. Let me know how it goes, and yeah, give me a shout.
I will.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.